To make the game as immersive and realistic as possible, the following features have now been added.
Hey everyone, this is Thyworm and today I bring you more Last Epoch news. Enjoying Last Epoch content? Consider subscribing. We have 3 new topics today: critters, footsteps and crafting materials. We'll start with critters. From the next patch onwards, a variety of critters populate the world of Eterra. The idea is to make the world feel more alive. I really enjoy this attention to detail. There won't be that many people mentioning out of the gate that what they really miss in Last Epoch are critters. It's mostly something that doesn't catch your eye, and it is of course by no means game breaking to have a world without tiny scorpions in it, only huge ones. But it does add to the idea that you're inhabiting another world, if only temporary. Just like lore, stories, characters and level design, also small game elements like critters help with creating a believable world. Immersion, guys, it could be very
immersive.
Here are a few examples of critters. Sarno mentioned in the 3rd video the critters blend in well with the environment. I think he's just messing with us, I don't see any critters. The other actually visible critters look great and they are to some extent interactive as well. The birds fly away, for example, and maybe you can kill some of these by stepping on them or shooting them with a bow. Then something else that could be considered
immersive:
sound design. One of those things that is often overlooked and the general audience usually doesn't notice this unless it is bad. Last Epoch has some work to do in the audio department, as I discussed as well in my 6 biggest issues with Last Epoch video, where it was one of the 6 issues. More audio samples give us a more dynamic range of sounds. Music at the right time elevates the combat experience. Good sound design contributes to more coherent gameplay, and therefore Last Epoch will be more
immersive.
With patch 0.7.8 you can expect new footstep audio. Here is a clip. On that same note, Mike from 11th Hour Games mentioned in a recent post that they have a new toy for the music, which allows them to ensure music plays at the correct place in the game, instead of right now feeling random and out of touch. This new device, I imagine some sort of machine with AI in a lab, should give us the music we want at the correct times in the game. I can't wait for that feature either. On to our final point, a loot vacuum. This is somewhat of a controversial topic in action RPGs. It has everything to do with convenience versus effort. You want to make a game convenient to players so they don't get frustrated. You also want players to make an effort so that after completing a task they feel a sense of achievement. And these two are not always easy to combine. For example, if everything would be automatically looted in an action RPG, loot becomes less meaningful because there is no effort attached to it. If you have to pick up every single piece yourself in a game without a loot filter, it can become tedious and frustrating. Striking the right balance here is difficult. Last Epoch decided when it comes to more generic crafting items, all the FX shards, the glyphs and the runes, there is no need to pick those pieces up individually. Instead, you can pick up one and you automatically loot all other pieces in the proximity of your character. I feel this is a reasonable change. Some people would like to pick these things up without clicking at all, and some people probably don't even like this change, but to me it seems fine. It is a solid middle ground and it does address some of the feedback on Discord and the forum. I would personally love it if all these crafting materials move to the crafting stash automatically as well, instead of cluttering my inventory. There is really no good functional reason for these items not to. I can only think of a technical reason where maybe your inventory is kept in one database and the crafting tab stash holding the items for crafting in another database. If this is the case, then in order to make sure that only crafting items move from your inventory to the crafting stash tab, you would have to write a store procedure on the inventory database that triggers every time you loot crafting materials, which could potentially generate a lot of load on the databases and surrounding items, as this would happen all the time. It doesn't happen all the time now, because these transfers between databases only are triggered when you are pressing the button, instead of constantly and automatically. That is a big difference, but I know there are smart ways to find solutions to this, so I'm hopeful crafting items don't end up in the inventory anymore, but instead where they should be, the crafting stash. That's enough IT lessons for today, ladies and gents. Thanks for watching and making it to the end. See you soon. Bye bye.